In this video, follow along as I show you how to fully reinstall the feed regulator back onto a Singer 201. We have a lot to do. Let's get started. The parts that you need for this step is the indicator plate, that's one with the numbers, and the back plate. There is a hinge screw and three-pronged kind of spring washer we're going to use. Two little screws for the indicator plate, this thumb screw, and two little washers are going to be installed onto the indicator plate right here. This is the lever for the feed regulator, and there is a nut that goes on it. In my case, I was not able to fully remove this nut. You may have been able to. That's why this is partially assembled right now. And the feed regulator itself. And finally, the little slide block that the feed regulator rides on. See, like that. Just like that. But we're going to actually install this onto the machine first. So where does it go? If you look up in here, we can see the feed fork. The feed fork has a little pin right here. That little pin is where the slide block is going to go. Now, it should be easy to just put it on that little pin with your fingers. I said in the previous video, when we put the feed fork in, you could put it on then. I may have called it a roller, but it's really a slide block because it's square. So that was my mistake. Do you see how this has this little bump? That bump needs to go up against the feed fork. So it's going in this way with the flat side towards the hand wheel. If you try to put it in the other way, it's not going to fit together. Okay? It needs the flat spot up against this portion of the feed regulator. So just take a second, put a drop of oil on that pin, and then you can reach up in and get that little slide block on the pin. And I'm trying to do this without laying the machine on its back, but I may need to, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and lay it down. And I can just do this hopefully now and not bump the camera, but I'm putting that little bumped out part towards the feed fork. There, I got it. Took a couple little tries and I dropped it once. But do you see that bumped out section on the slide block is pointing this way? This spins freely. Now I can get the feed regulator onto the machine. Now we have a little bit of pre-assembly that we can do here. If your nut, if you were able to get it all the way off the lever, you're going to want to go ahead and put it on right now and just screw it up fairly far. Then we're going to screw the lever into this hole on the feed regulator. Now, here's a little tip for you. I could keep screwing this until the screw, the threaded part, was poking out the other side. Sometimes I will get emails from people asking why they cannot get their machine to stitch 6 stitches per inch, which is what this little indicator plate says we can get down here. It's 6. If this is screwed in too far, that will shorten your stitch. You only want it screwed in far enough, and it has to do with how this lever travels up and down inside this plate. But if it's too short, it's going to make a difference in how this lever travels inside this plate, and it's going to make a difference in your stitch length. So you don't want it in too far. You want it just far enough that it's caught. So here it's not flush with the back of the hole. I'm stopping there, and then I'm going to tighten down this nut up against the body of the feed regulator. And I'm also going to make sure that wherever I have this stopped, let me show you how this is going in the machine like this. Okay, the slide block's going to fit right here. I don't want the lever turned like this when I tighten down the nut. I don't want it turned so that it's flipped the wrong way. So you really want to pay attention that this is as straight as possible with this curved part kind of facing up, because that's what you're going to see once it's on the machine. Now you do need a wrench to tighten down this nut. It's a 1/4 inch, and I just kind of try to hold everything still and keep everything straight, and then I'm just going to tighten down this nut. Now this one, like I said, the threads are damaged and I couldn't get the nut all the way off, so I'm going to use a vise to help me hold all of this still. So I have my vise, just going to kind of crank this down. I'm looking at the orientation, how this is going to go in the machine. This is how this needs to be turned. Now my vise is holding the feed regulator still. I can hold the lever still, and I can tighten down the nut. And you probably won't need all these tools, but I'm dealing with some damaged threads. So I'm using these non-marring pliers to grip this so I can get this nut tightened. There, that is nice and snug, and I believe the orientation is straight or straight enough in this case. So what you should end up with is this. This is where it's going to slide onto the slide block. This lever is going to stick out the front of the machine, and it's oriented in the right direction. It might be slightly crooked, but it was the best I could do in this case with that set of threads being so marred up. So now we can put this back on the machine. So I'm going to actually turn the machine up on its nose in a minute, but I want to show you how this goes on. This feed regulator is going to go onto this slide block. This is going to want to spin as you're trying to put it on the machine. But the good news is you can maybe reach in through the back and hold that slide block still with your fingers so it doesn't spin while you're trying to put it on. But you want to get that slide block into these grooves here. Make sure that you put oil now. Now is the best time to oil those parts. So I'm going to see how I can do this and show you. So I've got my finger in the back and I'm holding that slide block still, hopefully still enough. And my feed regulator, I'm just going to try to slide it onto the slide block. And it does matter how it is turned. Okay, that took some fiddling, but this is definitely on the slide block now. And I just used my finger through the back to hold that block still so it didn't spin. Now, while I have all this together, I most definitely want to go ahead and get the hinge screw and spring washer down into the end here so it holds everything in place for me. So let's do that. Okay, so it's up on its nose. Slide block and feed regulator are mated together, and I'm looking down in this hole right here, and I'm just going to move the feed fork until I can see the screw hole that's in the side of the feed regulator. Down in this hole, you can see the hole that's in the feed regulator that this big hinge screw is going to go in. So we're going to take the hinge screw in that 3-pronged washer. We're going to put, do you see this prong washer? It kind of curves up a little bit. We're going to slide it onto the hinge screw so that it's curved like this, and then oil the threads, and we're going to get it down in this hole and screwed into the feed regulator. And you'll know when you've got it right and everything is lined up. You'll feel it catch. Okay, it's definitely caught. I can go ahead and finish tightening this down now. Now I'm holding the feed regulator right here, or the lever, because as I tighten this screw down, the lever is going to want to start to move once it gets to a certain point. So watch, it's about there. Watch this lever, see? So I want to give it a little bit of resistance. I'm going to hold the lever so it can't turn, and I'm just going to kind of give that screw a nice little twist so it's nice and snug. Now you can see when I move the lever, that screw turns. That's fine. It's gonna move like that. Everything is connected. There's nothing to worry about here. We've got it all back together. We can put the indicator plate back on. Okay, so first thing we're gonna put on is the little back plate for the indicator plate. And what I want you to do is to make sure that the edges are nice and smooth. I've actually oiled this one a little bit, and I've also oiled inside this cutout right here. Make sure this is free of any debris. If there is any debris here, this won't spin very freely inside. I used like a nail buffer to just kind of smooth down this edge. It's just going to go on like this, and then you're going to turn it, and it should fit right into this recessed area here. The screw hole right here needs to be to the left. And look, this spins freely. There's no issues there. Next, I'm going to take the indicator plate, turn it, and slide it on. Make sure it's not on upside down. And then the two little screws that hold it on can be installed. So I'm just going to get those in there. And we can go ahead and snug those down all the way. Okay, now all we have to do is to put our little thumb screw back on. Now you had two little washers that came off. One was thinner and one was thick. The thinner one goes on first, and if you look at it up close, you will see it's also kind of cupped. If you hold the thumb screw like this and slide that thinner one on, it should be cupped like this, not like that. So put it on like that, and then put the second thicker one on, and now we can screw this into that hole. Don't tighten it down all the way. Check and make sure you've got movement here. If you want to check to see if you have full rotation, if you put the lever right in the center here at this top line, then this should move totally freely top to bottom. When we set our stitch length, so let's say I'm piecing 8 stitches per inch, I'll put the lever to 8, that's right here. Tighten down that thumb screw. Now it won't go past 8. So when I stitch in reverse, which is like this, and then I'm done in reverse, I want to go back to 8, I can just move it down and it'll stop at 8. If I want to go and sew some really fine stitches at 20, I move it to 20, loosen it, raise it as high as it will go, tighten it down. Now it stops at 20. That's what this is for. So I'm going to just loosen this, and I'm going to put it between, well, I'm going to put it about 10. That's a good setting for later when we're doing some things and our feed regulator is on. So what to expect in the next video. In the next video, we're going to reassemble the bobbin winder. That is on the motor itself. Okay, the bobbin winder mounts to the motor. So we're going to get it on before we put the motor on the machine. So we will reassemble the bobbin winder, get the motor on the machine, and let's go ahead and get the light onto the machine as well. So that's what you can expect in the next video. Bobbin winder reassembly, motor back on the machine, light back on the machine. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your questions in the comments below, and I will see you again really soon. Bye.